Hi, I hope you can take a break from the debate and get a little dose of some self care. So, I wanted to explain today was a hectic day for our family. It was a double Diet Coke day. I needed two Diet Cokes to get through today. Um, it started out this morning. There was supposed to be a plumber here at 9 a.m. They somehow missed that memo, so they were only going to come from 2 to 4, which is exactly when both me and Adam had things for work that we could not move around. So that was just kind of fun to deal with. And then of course they didn't make that window. They came when no one was here, and so whatever. And then also my work day was just way busier than I had expected going into the work day, and I didn't realize until like almost 3 o'clock, I guess, that the only mental break I'd had all day was to make my lunch, and then during eating my lunch I watched a webinar training. So there was no huge like lunch break or even really downtime of my day. It was constantly going. And then me and Adam both had later in the day than usual work commitments. And so that meant that Jackson wouldn't be picked up from daycare at his normal time. He was picked up like an hour later than his normal time, which meant that our evening routine was behind in the time that we normally are at. Plus, I just don't like Jackson having to spend longer at daycare than normal, but I got over that. Plus, then that's when I got an update on how Cooper was doing. He spent the whole day at the vet, and we got good news back about how he's doing, but I had to go pick up Jackson, then get Cooper, then come home, do dinner and playtime all by myself because Adam was still at work. And dinner is me and then like feeding myself, then also feeding Jackson, and then also making sure that Cooper gets fed the right way because Cooper is diabetic and his food is just a whole process more so than it ever used to be. And so all of this was going on, and I feel like I normally could look at this and completely see myself having a panic attack or getting completely overwhelmed. And Jackson was crying throughout the entire drive home from the vet, and so that's typically a time that's super upsetting for me because I just hate it because I feel so out of control. I can't do anything. But somehow I was able to get through all of today in a wonderful mood and like never really got upset. Did had a great time with Jackson for the few hours that we got to spend together today, and it all turned out well. And so afterwards, me and Adam were talking about like what happened so that we were able to all stay calm and get through that. And we kind of identified three different things that really helped, that were different self-care things. And I was able to do self-care today. I was able to get self-care in even though my schedule didn't really allow time for it. And the reason that I'm able to get that time in is not because I can magically give myself an extra hour in the day. I wish I could, but that was not it. It's because self-care is a 24/7 thing. It's also a treat yourself thing, go get a massage, go do a face mask, whatever, all those things. But it's also a 24/7 thing. And I identified three different things that helped me get through that. And the first one was my self-talk. I kept my self-talk positive and empowering all day long. I have to kind of slow down to make sure that I am really prioritizing that empowering self-talk. But I did that today. And, on the way home when Jackson was crying and upset, I didn't have self-talk that sounded like this is my fault or he's so upset and I'm not comforting him. Easily could have been where I went, but I was much more able to say, okay, he's going to get through this and it's going to help him build resiliency and I'm going to be here to support him. So we sang Puppy Dog Pals the whole way home, and that's fine. And then when we all got home, we gave him some peanut butter crackers. He was good to go. So he was just hungry. No big deal. So self-talk, number one. Number two, I embrace the good And I'm trying to focus on that, embracing the happy feelings. And I don't just mean like allowing for those times, but when something good happens, when something feels good, I'm trying to sit with it for longer than what feels natural. So when I got the phone call from Dr. Ramsey, which is Cooper's internal medicine doctor, the news was really good. His numbers look really good, and he's gained 8 pounds, which is huge if you know the whole saga of his story. And instead of just being like, oh, thank God, and spending like a little bit of time on that I normally would, and then, coming back to it when I see him and I'm so happy, but I just sat with that relief and that excitement of how well he's doing for longer than I naturally would. I sat with it all the way until I picked up Jackson. And then, my mind shift kind of changed, but I focused on that good to kind of try to enhance that. And then the last thing that I think has really helped is my preventative self-care that I've been doing. For the past month, I've been walking on average about 4 miles a day, almost every day. And I have just found that this walking is incredibly helpful to me. It's helpful to me physically, helpful to me mentally, and I think that it has brought my baseline down so that when things are a little bit stressful, I'm only coming up to here instead of my baseline being here. So when things are stressful more than normal, I'm way up here. So those are my 3 things that I was able to do for self-care today, with really no time to schedule in self-care. So self-talk, keeping that empowering, embracing the good, and my preventative self-care maintenance that I've been working and dedicated to. So I just wanted to share those because I don't want y'all to let, time constraints or time commitments trick you into thinking that you can't do self-care because you don't have time for it and you need to make time for it. So, just wanted to share that. If y'all have questions, feel free to let me know, or let me know how you do your self-care 24/7.